I don't remember who said this, but when we first originally started doing like reactions on our YouTube channel, we were talking about like, why is 70s music so good? And I remember somebody saying something that really stuck with me. And they were like, the thing is, like in the 70s, like the technology finally caught up with the creativity of the musicians. And I really feel that with Queen, because they started, they started layering their vocals in this huge operatic way with all these multi-tracks and all this shit. And I think about it, I'm like, yeah, if this band came out like 5-7 years earlier, they might not have been able to do that.
No. It's too progressive. You know what I'm saying? They're part prog as well, Queen. They put everything into their rock and roll. And I feel like, there are a lot of people who feel like they're not really rock, you know what I'm saying? But they've literally made like their own lane, you know what I mean? And put so many different forms into rock. And that's what you want to do with such a great style of music. You want to be able to have a whole bunch of different tentacles and stuff. And now look at us this day. Like we have so much. We got our alternative, we got new metal, we got so much different things.
Yeah.
Thanks, rock fathers.
Thanks, Queen. But yeah, so that kind of culminates in a song. I don't even know if song is the right word. It's just a fucking epic.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's a song called Bohemian Rhapsody. And it's like, this song is just it's a masterpiece. I don't throw that word around a lot, but I'm sure all of you already know that it's a masterpiece. It's just crazy. I mean, it's like it's opera, it's rock, it's like a ballad, it's everything all in one. And they were saying it was, the recording for it was so crazy. They had to record it in like six different studios.
Yes.
And nobody really even knew what it was going to be like, except for Freddie, really, who had it all in his head.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you do guitar at this studio, you do some vocals at this studio, you do some drums at this studio. Like everybody's like, I mean, it's going to be something, but I don't really know what it is.
Yeah. And he had been working on that song for a while, like the words. He knew he wanted to do some type of mama type sing out, because he had a favorite song and it was similar to that. And he wanted to start out the same style like it. But yeah, nobody knew. You just heard like Galileo's here, high pitched here, driving guitars here. You're just like, what is this going to be? Like,
yeah. It's so crazy. Sorry.
No, and then it ends up what it is. That's all I was gonna say.
It does end up what it is, and it's just so amazing. And of course, the record label is like, what are we supposed to do with a 6-minute song? This isn't a single. What the fuck is this? What is this, an art piece?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was like 75. Right. And they were already they already had international success like by then and stuff like that. So they were just going up and up and up.
I think their biggest song before that was Killer Queen, right?
Yeah. And that's beautifully made as well. Mm-hmm.
You can kind of hear the hints of like the operatic vocals and stuff in the multi-tracks there. That's when it really starts. They really start kind of finding their sound and hitting their stride, I think.
Right. Because before, Brian and Roger had known that just the sound of their two voices together, when they go into high notes and stuff, they knew they had something. So you just had to add a little bit more electronics and just layer more. They just knew it.
Yeah, and the way they said it was funny. They were like, yeah, we realized Brian could do the lowest notes and Roger could do the highest notes and Freddie could do everything else. Like, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So they end up making the song, and the record label didn't really want to push it. Mm-hmm. But Freddie had some friends in the business. Mm-hmm. They got, what's his name? I think it was like Kenny Everett, the DJ. He was a big time DJ, and he was friends with Freddie. And Freddie was like, "Hey, I got this new shit." Paraphrasing. He's like, "Yo, what's up, bud? I got this new stuff for you." And, the record company didn't want him to play it. The radio station that he was on didn't want him to play it because it's this crazy song. Nobody would ever expect this to be a hit. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny. He was just like, oops, my finger slipped. Oops, my finger slipped again. He played it like 14 times in a weekend.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden the label is getting thousands of calls like, hey, when are you putting this song out? This is fucking amazing. Right?
Take that label.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever label they were on at the time. I don't remember. It's not important.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes the suits don't know.
Most of the time, the suits don't know. The thing about the Suits is that they're not artists. That's always what the battle is.
Yeah, yeah.
They're always just trying to make money. They're not here to talk about what's good art or not. And that's why there's always a battle between the company and the artist.
Yeah, and sometimes if you're just really, really forward, or if you really dig your heels in, you can convince the Suits. And people, Frank Zappa, said that he would rather the Suits be in charge, because then you had to actually convince them. There was those people who actually did not know. And he's like, nowadays it's just like some kid that's like 20 years younger than him that's like, no, I know what people are listening to, I know what's good. So
right,
the Suits aren't too bad.
Sometimes
some
of the Suits will give you a pass, okay? But yeah, so that song, it just becomes huge, right? And I mean, nobody's heard anything like this before, so it just brings them to a completely different stratosphere.
Takes them all the way in the future to Wayne's World.
But it takes them 20 years in the future.
Yeah.
That's, you know what that is? You know what I call that?
What? Foreshadowing?
Excellent.
Oh. Hilarious.
Shout out to Wayne's World. Shout out to Wayne and Garth. But yeah, so they're full blown, just huge international rock stars.
Yeah, and they popularized like the music video with that too.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say that's another way that they're innovators, because they made a music video for that song like 7-8 years before MTV was even a thing.
Yeah.
Because a song like that deserves a video. Let's be real.
And I like the video too.
Yeah, and it's cool. It's cool in its simplicity. You know what I mean? They're not doing crazy things. It's pretty much, a stage, and then there's some effects. But for most part, they're just rocking it.